Extreme weather events have plagued Europe, leaving thousands without power in the Nordic region, while floods hit France, Germany, and the Netherlands.
유럽 곳곳이 이상기후 현상으로 몸살을 앓는 가운데 북유럽 지역은 수천 명이 전기가 끊긴 생활을 하고 있으며 프랑스, 독일, 네덜란드는 홍수 피해를 입은 것으로 전해졌습니다. What's going on in Europe?
Right. I think I covered this issue last week when we talked about the extreme cold temperatures in the Nordic region.
Right.
So it's hit negative 40 degrees in some areas in Finland and Sweden. Schools have closed down, and the extreme cold is causing havoc on the roads. So thousands of people in the Nordic countries are still without power, and that's due to gusty winds and snow causing havoc. They say that a lot of drivers are still stuck in their cars because of the hazardous and clogged highways. Temperatures dropped to as low as negative 43.6 degrees Celsius, which was the lowest January temperature that was recorded in Sweden in some 25 years. Meanwhile, so the countries like France, Germany, and Netherlands, they've reported floods. So there was one death that was linked to the weather that was reported in France, and several towns in the north of the country, they were underwater after several days of rain, and there were mild but wet and windy conditions that prevailed further south, where a storm wreaked havoc in parts of Western Europe as well.
We're really seeing no end to these weather-related
Yeah.
stories. The new year is no different to last year. And you mentioned the expression there, to wreak havoc,
Yes.
or to cause havoc.
Yes.
And those both mean the same thing. It means to cause a lot of chaos and confusion. And
We use the term a lot when we're talking about natural disasters.
Right. Okay, so let's have a look at the first expression here, which is to plague some area.
Right. To plague, so it's used as a verb, and it means to cause continual trouble or distress.
plague 스펠링이 Plague이고요. 뭔가를 괴롭힌다 아니면 고통을 준다라는 뜻이 있는데요. 보통은 굉장히 많은 숫자로 많은 사람들이나 많은 피해를 입었을 때 그런 이제 다량의 느낌이 같이 들어 있어요.
Yes.
플레이그를 이제 한 사람한테 쓸 수는 없습니다. 많은 지역, 많은 사람에게 피해를 입을 때 쓰는 것이다라고 볼 수 있겠고, 아니다 생각해보니까 사람한테도 쓸 수 있긴 하겠네요.
Yeah.
You can be plagued by something individually.
Right. But I mean, you're right, because when we use this, well, in this case, definitely, because, when we talk about plagues, it influences a lot of people.
네, plague라는 명사 자체는 이제 plague in the Bible, you know,
Yes.
you have the plague
The
of all
Black
these
Plague,
different. Yes,
yeah.
that's right. Black plague. 흑사병이죠.
yes.
네, 우리말로는. 그런 경우를 보듯이 많은 사람들에게 영향을 미칠 때 이 플레이그를 쓰는 것이 일반적이지만 뭐 때에 따라서는 나한테
you could be
큰
plagued by something.
질병이
Yes.
걸렸을
Yeah.
때 쓸 수도 있겠네요. 자, 그다음에는 leaving thousands without power.
Right. So if you're without power, it means you don't have any electricity. So we're talking about blackouts. So in this case, usually when I guess one house could be without power, but if there's a storm, it usually
Right.
affects a lot of different houses.
Leave someone without power is the same as saying something has caused a blackout to someone. 정전이 발생했다는 뜻이 되죠. 전기가 끊겼다. Leave someone without power. 자, 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Extreme weather events have plagued Europe, leaving thousands without power in the Nordic region, while floods hit France, Germany, and the Netherlands.